Hello, and welcome to today's Painful Thought. Today we examine some concepts involved in healing from trauma. Forgiveness is for you, not the person who hurt you. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as an act of absolution for the wrongdoer, when in reality, it is a profound act of self-liberation. Research in psychology and trauma recovery suggests that holding on to resentment and anger activates the body's stress response, leading to chronic emotional and even physical distress, according to Worthington and colleagues 2007. On the other hand, forgiveness is associated with lower anxiety, reduced depression, and improved overall well-being, as shown by Toussaint and others in 2016. Why forgiveness is about self-healing. First, the psychological burden of unforgiveness. Holding on to anger keeps the nervous system in a state of hypervigilance, reinforcing feelings of victimization and powerlessness, as explained by Enright and Fitzgibbons in 2015. Studies show that chronic resentment can contribute to increased cortisol levels, which are linked to stress-related illnesses, rumination that prolongs emotional suffering, and difficulty forming trusting, healthy relationships. Second, forgiveness does not equal reconciliation or condoning harm. Forgiveness does not require reconnecting with the person who hurt you, minimizing the severity of their actions, or forgetting what happened. Instead, it's about releasing the emotional grip the event has on your life, as Luskin described in 2002. Third, the neuroscience of letting go. Research in neuroplasticity suggests that practicing forgiveness can rewire the brain away from anger and toward emotional regulation, according to Ricciardi and colleagues in 2013. Techniques like compassion meditation and cognitive reframing can really help shift your perspective. And finally, reclaiming personal power. When you forgive, you take back control of your emotional state, refuse to let the past dictate your present, and create space for post-traumatic growth, as Tedeschi and Calhoun explained in 2004. Steps toward forgiveness without forgetting can be challenging, but they're so important. First, acknowledge the pain. Really allow yourself to feel and validate your emotions, rather than just suppressing them. Next, try to separate the person from the pain. Remember, holding on to anger tends to hurt you more than it hurts them. Then, reframe the narrative by asking yourself, how has this experience shaped my resilience? Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you might offer a close friend, and finally set boundaries if you need to. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to allow further harm. Forgiveness isn't really about the past, it's about your future. It's a personal act of release, not a gift to the person who caused you harm. Holding on to anger and resentment, well, it only perpetuates your pain. Letting go allows you to free yourself from that emotional weight and reclaim your peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the harm. It's actually about prioritizing your own healing. By releasing resentment, you reclaim your energy, your peace, and your power to live fully. Let's take a moment for some personal reflection questions. First, think about the weight of resentment. Can you recall a time when someone hurt you deeply? How has holding on to anger affected your mental, emotional, or even physical health? Next, what could forgiveness change? If you chose to forgive, not for them but for yourself, what might shift in your life? Would you feel lighter, freer, or maybe more at peace? Now, have you ever avoided forgiving because it felt like letting them off the hook? How might reframing forgiveness as self-care change that perspective for you? What's one small step you could take to start loosening resentment's grip? Maybe journaling, therapy, or even a symbolic release ritual. Finally, imagine your life a year from now if you truly let go. What new emotional or relational possibilities might open up? Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until next time, I wish you less painful thoughts.